Good soon-to-be afternoon, everyone. We'll get started with Fast Track. We have these, hello Wilma, we have these on Monday and Tuesday at noon. We do record them and look forward to trying to help you get started with the program today or get back restarted. Yesterday we went over food categories, but this is just all to fill in any gaps that you might be finding in the pre-records, the fast track lessons, the short lessons. We'll go over that again too. Make sure everybody knows where to find the material. It's laid out in videos and resources that you can download. They're all free to you. We're just here to help support you, help you lose weight, keep it off forever with a practical, sustainable, and fun lifestyle. All right, we'll get started. So welcome everybody. If you're participating in Fast Track, let's just refresh where we go to find our resources. This is a course that's worked for tens of thousands of people. If properly applied, you can lose 10% of your body weight in the first 30 days. That's a lot. And if you continue on, about 1% of your weight per week until you reach your goal. Everything you need comes from your local grocery store. There may be some things you want that you can't find at your grocery store, but everything you need, well, shoot, you could get this out of the Dollar General. And Jessica, we could get anything we need out of the Triangle over in Rockmart. So Triangle grocery store. So I love that about the program. And you don't need any crazy stuff. I mean, you can control your blood sugar and control insulin with just simple food combining. In fact, all the medications that are on the market, there's some fine writing that says this works if you do it in conjunction with exercise and diet. Well, here, all we've got to do is eat properly and we'll lose the weight. That's all I did when I started. I do exercise now, but I didn't exercise when I was doing this program. I lost the weight with food combining. So we log in, you get your free account. You should wind up in the dashboard or something that looks like this, Fast Track with Travis. Click that. If you don't go right here, it depends on the level of membership as to where the website takes you. But here we've got our Fast Track videos. They're all laid out so that you go through. They're really short, a few minutes. Got lessons on timing, on portions, on food combining, on MCT oil, how to cook with it. You got everything you need for this fast fat loss lifestyle to start enjoying it, to start engaging it just by watching the videos and getting started with your resources. You got your meal ideas, you got your combination chart. Don't let all the resources we give you scare you away either. You'll get your arms around this fairly quickly if you have a big why. I wished I had had this when I started. If I had had this, because I had my why when I left Dr. Ward's office and had been told I was going to have to go to Redmond and have a light run down in my throat and all this stuff. And I was, I sick and tired of being sick and tired. I wished I had had this because that day I found my why. Do you have your why? We've got great resources for subscribers on here that help you find your why. But have you found your why? Without a why that's greater than the temptation that's all around you, you will not be successful. Human beings will not do things. Now, this is not hard to do, but human beings will not do things that require change without somebody making them do it unless they have a big why. You got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. That will get you started, but it's not enough to keep you going, y'all. Hear me. Being sick and tired of being sick and tired, low energy, health problems, overweight, clothes too big, whatever, that is only enough to get you going. It won't keep you going. In order to keep going, you got to make how you eat a part of your value system, and you've got to see a future where you're lean, healthy, happy, enjoying life. And you got to want that. So it's up to you. If it were up to me, I would sit down with every new person before I ever let them watch a video, and I would help them come up with their why. I can't do that, obviously. But if I could, I would sit down with every person before I ever let them watch a video and say, let's work through your why. Because if it ain't a big one, how do I know my why is big enough? Does it bring a tear to your eye? Does it get you excited? Because without that, you and I are likely to succumb to temptation. So work on that why. Then you've got all of the materials you're going to need to do this program. You've got a beginner meal plan. You don't have to do the whole meal plan. It's meant to give you ideas. You've got your fast track lessons. You've got your member support group. Please get in the support group. That should be prerequisite at the top. Get in the support group. If you could have done this by yourself, you would have done it a long time ago. You need support, you need connection. That's a great group for that. You've got your live class schedule, Monday and Tuesday at noon, fast track food library, which we started looking at yesterday, a small recipe library, and your journal. If you want to unlock the full experience, please come go with us. The benefits of the program are astounding. They're way undervalued because we want to touch as many people as we can. But we'll start right here, okay? With that said, we looked yesterday at the food library. We do all these little sessions, these live ones different because you have the entire course at your fingertips. We just kind of go with what you might need today, okay? So if you have questions, ask away. Otherwise, I'm going to look at the shield, bulletproof shield. So yesterday we looked at our food library. We looked at category 1 lean protein. These are your basic proteins, okay? That's going to help you preserve muscle. You're already eating them probably. They're going to help control insulin. Go ahead and heart them. Heart the ones you like. That way the system gets to know you and can even help you with meal planning. If you're not hearting what you like, it's not the best help with meal planning. But if you're hearting it, adding it to your grocery list, then it can start, okay, this person likes collards. I can put that in the meal plan. This person likes sandwiches. I can put that in the meal plan, and so forth. So you've got lean protein, category 1, exercise on a plate. Category 2, fibrous carb, leafy greens, broccoli, asparagus, okra, squash, those kind of things. We've even got approved breads that break down more like a green bean or a cucumber than it does a bread. It still tastes like bread, but we're not getting that insulin spike. We're not getting the fat bust. Energy carbs, we're not a carbless program. We don't believe in that. Anytime that you're excluding a macronutrient that God give, you're limiting some nutritive value that your body needs. I don't care what they say. So if you have a program that permanently excludes protein, fat, or carbs, it's probably not going to be a lifestyle. There are seasons to limit or get rid of carbs, but you shouldn't do it permanently in my estimation because there's some nutritive value in carbohydrate that the body needs, just like there is in protein. But we got to be careful how we consume them. We don't call them complex carbs. We call them energy carbs because we want you to know what they do, what their function is. They give energy. Anytime we give our body this energy, our body temporarily doesn't need to use stored energy in the form of fat, but there's some great nutritive value. You'll feel better if you learn to eat carbs and eat them right. We can't eat them by themselves. You'll get too much fat bust, but we can put them on a portion plate with the right other macros, control insulin. Now we have these delicious carbohydrate. Protein plus fat, you've got plenty of those that are like lean proteins, but with also fat in them, within them, like New York strip steak. That's the best of both worlds: protein, long chain fatty acids. As we discussed yesterday, we're trying to keep fats away from carbohydrate. That's the thing. Low fat, we can have our carb. Good, the right kind of fat, we can have our carbs. If it's like long chain fat, like in ribs and steak, we got to avoid the category threes and the fives. Fruit, all fruit is approved. Fruit is not the devil. It is so good for you. It's the plant's way of saying, here's what I've provided for you. Fruit is of God, and us learning how to eat it properly while we're losing weight, and then how to eat it properly when we're maintaining. Right now, you won't be able to eat fruit by itself unless it's on a wow challenge. You have to put it in the right combination. But when you get into maintenance, you can even use fruit as a snack. Superfoods, your nuts, seeds, peanut butter, great list of superfoods that contain all the macros. My favorite, personally, shellfish. I, I believe I could live off of it, but I won't. But I believe I could. Give me it, some MCT and ghee butter, I'm good to go. But all shellfish works just like category one lean proteins, exercise on a plate. If you cook into a category one, listen carefully. This is a one that my beginner students miss. If you cook regular olive oil or butter fat into category one or category seven, they are no longer a one or seven. Does anybody know what category they become? Somebody's got to be out there still chatting in within the thread. What category do they become if I add, there you go, Kay, Amanda, everybody, a four? Anytime, if I use MCT oil, if I use MCT, if I use ghee, if I use coconut oil, I do not have to change the category. I just added into that lean protein a medium chain triglyceride that has little propensity to be stored as fat. But if I cook in butter, and I can, if I cook in regular butter, vegetable oil, olive oil, grapeseed oil, any other oil, everything on that plate has to be treated like a category four, which means if a food is cooked improperly, trust me, get rid of the threes and fives on that plate. Is that clear, everyone? This is huge. People miss it all the time. It makes a huge difference. If I cook olive oil into chicken, it effectively is not chicken anymore. Chicken breast. It is now a steak. It tastes like chicken, but I've added fat. And you have to be careful because if we put carbs with those slow digesting fats like olive oil, we're going to store it. All these little nuggets of information I give, if everybody would put them together in an easy, practical, sustainable lifestyle, there would be no statistical evidence of any of these things that go along with obesity, like diabetes. There would still be diabetes, but it would be such a low statistical thing. Um, Heart disease, all these things, they would basically be eradicated in the sweet spot of our lives. You know, something down the road, you know, we all get older, things happen, genetically predisposed to certain things. But these early occurrences of these deadly underlying diseases would not happen if people would just follow this program, not statistically. All right, moving on. Condiments, make sure you follow your condiment rule or you use the library for approved condiments when you're picking those out. I don't know why these have all these vegetables and stuff. Obviously, those are condiments. This is all messed up. But condiments, we're talking about ketchup, mustard, barbecue sauce. We're looking for the 5-2 and few rule. Lisa, are you here? While you're here, could we fix this? Could we take out all of this stuff that's not a condiment and just put in here for me some of the MCT recipes for condiments, salad dressings? Could you put in here things, some specific Walden Farms calorie-free condiments? But let's take out stuff like lettuce. That's confusing to people. Pear, dates. Those could be used as a condiment, but that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about here is your salad dressing, your barbecue sauce, your ketchup, your mustard, those kind of things. Lots of condiments. Just make sure they follow the calorie-free rule or the 5-2 and 5-2 and few. 5 grams of sugar or less, 2 grams of fat or less. So that's basically what we tackled yesterday. Today we're going to hit the bulletproof shield that's covered in the videos. We're learning about food and that's fun, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, something like a steak, it can help me lose weight or it can cause me to gain weight. It's more about the lifestyle that I'm living with, and have I made it a part of my value system? Is this just a diet that I'm going to do for a little while? If so, I'm going to gain the weight back. But if it's a lifestyle that I can live with, that I have rules that I can live by, I now get in control of something I formerly did not have control over. And this is a huge thing that you see. People have lost control of so many areas of their lives. They feel like this is another area they're out of control in. You can get back control right now just by making food, not just what you consume, not just a coping mechanism, but you can make it part of your worship. You know, this is how I live. This is how I maintain a healthy temple. Okay, so we have two types of days on the program. Today's Tuesday. So on this Tuesday, I'm going to have a perfect day or I'm going to have a holiday. And I journal this. I have to be honest with myself. I know a lot of people not honest with themselves, and they call things perfect day that isn't perfect day. But if you'll be tough with yourself, not mean, not cruel, not beating yourself up, but buffet the flesh and stick to your guns, stick to the rules, you'll be successful. So there's definitions, and they're liberal, very liberal definitions. It's easy to have a perfect day with a made up mind. And once I have two perfect days, I now have depleted all of the glucose and all of the water attached to that excessive glucose. I've depleted that from my liver, from my muscular cells, and now I'm shifting and I'm burning fat after 2 days. So Monday and Tuesday, I have perfect days. Wednesday, I'll be in efficient fat burning mode. So, how do I have this a perfect day? I drink my water. You must drink a half a gallon minimum of water in order to have a perfect day in that 24-hour period. Doesn't matter to me as long as it's wet water. It could be some good old mineral water, Pellegrino. You could do that. And if I have up to a half a gallon to a gallon, I've had my perfect day. If you go over a gallon, that's fine too. But the rule is a half a gallon minimal. Okay. So we want to get that in. Then we journal. Those that don't journal gain their weight back. 99, the percent is real, and it's even higher than this. 99% of people that lose all of their weight, that quit, they started with a journal and then they quit journaling, gain almost all of it back almost 100% of the time. You need that ally, you need that friend. If you bite it, you ride it, you hog it, you log it. So I have a journal, digital and paper, and I just take my phone and I take a picture of every bite that goes in my mouth. And then before I go to bed, I journal that. That if I miss it before bed because I'm working third shift or whatever, I do it the next day. But I've got a recording on my phone of everything that goes in my mouth. So when it's time, I can sit and I can type in and not just put back in, y'all, not just put in what I ate, but how I feel about it. I want to look and okay, I see that Health Smart peanut butter patty. Oh, I'm so glad I did that. I was tempted with a Reese's, but I overcame, and I'm proud of myself. And I had this one that controlled insulin. If I have a picture of a Reese cup, I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I didn't have my Quest peanut butter patty. I'll be prepared next time because I just lost 2 days of fat burning. That darn Reese's got me again. So you're getting in touch with this within. You're aware. You have to be aware of what's provoking you to eat these things as coping mechanisms. You're not eating a Reese's because you're hungry. You're eating a Reese's to cope with something or for some pleasure or for a dopamine release or whatever. but it's killing you. So you have to find these void replacements. You do that with your journal. So we got our journal. Then we got food combining. We eat in the right food combination. We go over this thoroughly in two of the videos in Fast Track. So we learned very early on we can have a 1+2, and that's exercise on a plate, chicken and broccoli. I want a sandwich. I got some tavern ham on some category 2 bread. There's nothing I can't have. Then we learn how to put carbs on here. We learn 1+2+3. Okay. So I've got my portion rule, my portion plate. I'm craving a potato. I know that a potato's a 3, so I'm gonna look. I got to get me a 1 on that plate. I got to get me a 2 on that plate. Then I can have my potato. So I've got my chicken breast or chicken tenders with no breading. I've got, let's say, I've got a salad, a little bit of salad or leafy greens, something there, and then I got my potato. So I had chicken, potato, and salad. 1, 2, 3. So it's just learning how to combine the foods. That seems, oh my gosh, I'll never learn that. It's so easy, especially if you get in that support group and start watching what other people are eating, sharing what you're eating. Let us correct you, let us help you. Food combining, it'll change your life because food combining controls insulin. The insulin's a problem. Okay, so you got the fat bus, which is insulin. You eat that potato by itself, you're going to store all the fat, and not only in that meal, but in subsequent meals for up to 2 days later. It's very scary stuff. So the fat bus, high levels of it. You eat fruit by itself. You eat white bread. Whiter the bread, the quicker you're dead. You're eating this stuff. You got fat bus. Appetite goes up. Fat storage takes place. And the efficient fat burning stops for up to 2 days. Food combinations will prevent that. I also supplement, you don't have to, but I also supplement with berberine and carbies. That further helps me control insulin. It's not mandatory. In fact, food combining helps more than the berberine and the carbies, but they give you an advantage. Then you've got portions. Portions, I eat up to 3 eating episodes a day. I can have up to 3 meals a day, or 2 snacks in a meal, or 3 snacks. But I eat up to 3 eating episodes, and when I've had that eating episode, I cut my eating off. 3 or less eating episodes a day. Breakfast for the Father, lunch for the Son, dinner for the Holy Spirit. This is a great way to live. It's empowering. You get control. You're doing it under the Lord, and you're having to maintain telling yourself no sometime. When we tell ourselves yes all the time, it's really hard to change. We have to start doing the hard thing and telling ourselves no. But if we have moments of mental weakness where I need some popcorn as a coping mechanism, we have those things. They're approved. And you can add an additional snack and freebies. We have things that are freebies like sugar-free Jell-O and cucumber slices, etc. But the best thing that you can do for your health is 3 or less eating episodes a day, and they're portion controlled, 6 to 8 inch plate or 2-hand rule. Lastly, timing, 12 to 16 hour fast. When I get done eating, I've had my 3 eating episodes. This is the optimal day. I had my breakfast, my lunch, dinner, or less, and then I quit eating. And I wait 12 to 16 hours before eating again. If I need something at night, it's an approved beverage, something that's low to no calories. I eat again after 12 to 16 hours has subsided. I've slept, I get up, and then I can do it again only when 12 to 16 hours have subsided. At 16 hours, we start hitting autophagy. This means the clearing away of toxins from the cells. You also give your food time to digest. It takes many, many more hours to digest food than what we allow for. We're constantly putting more food in when the last eating episode isn't even absorbed. This is a huge problem. I know I keep saying huge problem, but it's a huge problem that we don't even let our food digest. Just stop. eat and then get a timer. You'll get conditioned and it'll get easy. But at first, you're so mentally used to the hand mouth disease, like I was, and using food as a coping mechanism. Got to have something all the time. We got to stop. We got to say, no, I eat, and then I don't eat again until it's time to eat. I don't graze. I don't use food as a solution for my problems or as just an instrument of pleasure. You got to change that. Nothing will fix till we change that. And then I said last, there is one more, and it's bless the name of the Lord. Bless the name of the Lord Jesus at all times, and that's a perfect day. An attitude of gratitude, being thankful that today, even on an approved perfect day, I'm eating more food than some people get in what I'm eating today. They wouldn't get that much food in a month some places. So we got it made, and we got to quit having the thought process and then speaking on it like this is hard and this is, oh, it's so hard and it's not fair, and oh no, it's great. This is fantastic. You're getting control. I'm going to feel better. I've had 2 perfect days now. I'm in efficient fat burning and still eating delicious foods that help me lose weight instead of foods I like that cause me to gain weight. That's a perfect day. If I do anything, if I so much as lick the cheese dust off a Dorito, because after the lick goes the crunch, after the crunch goes the bag, or if I go have some cheesecake, it's your birthday, or it's a Georgia football game and you have French fries, or whatever you have, that's a holiday. Whether it's a little challah meal or whether it's a holiday, that's one of your 6 holidays a month. You can control insulin those other months. You can take off 6 days a month and still lose body fat fast. However, when you get into maintenance, you can go up to 12. But hear me. Up to 12 holidays and all your other days are perfect during the month, you will lose fat and you will keep it off. Why don't more people do it? Here's what happens. When they start getting past 6 holidays a month, get up to 12, they're having a lot of holidays. These perfect days tend to be not so perfect anymore. We call them perfect, but we start, we did something off. I just had a handful of Pringles, but it's still a perfect day. I've lost a lot of weight. Don't do that. You will gain your weight back so fast. What gets us in trouble is not the 6 holidays. It's when all these other days don't adhere to these principles, then you get in trouble. That's when you start seeing the weight gain come back. Your perfect days become okay days, just so days. And that's it. That is the simplicity of the program. So once you learn how to put your sandwich together, how to put your shake together, how to put whole foods together, how to use our recipe library, and then you eat 3 or less times a day, you got it made. Given the time, the weight is gone. Health unintended consequences of being overweight gone. It's amazing. You can do it at fast food restaurants, at family style restaurants, at home, at grandma's after church. Doesn't matter. You can do this program. It is so simple. Tens of thousands of people have went through this and earned their fast track badge, and I hope you will earn it this week or re-earn it. Any questions or comments? Anybody have any questions or comments? Did you get anything out of this? Even if it's just to stir up your pure mind and get you motivated again. Hey, Jennifer, good to have you back. Lisa, good to have y'all back. We do these every Monday and Tuesday at noon. Can I have peanut butter and sugar-free jelly? You can have it on a Category 2 approved bread, Miss Wendy. Can I have a bag of Quest chips with it? Quest chips are a snack, and I don't advise you to put it with a PB&J. Now, if you do, it's still perfect. It's just you're pushing the boundaries of the program a little bit. It would be better with a approved tavern ham sandwich, a lean protein. But you can do that. It's called a perfect pairing. You have successfully, not unsuccessfully, but successfully pushed the boundaries of the program a little bit. So you could have it with the Quest chips. Hey, Cindy. Cindy helps lead up our mentoring program to mentor folks that need help. Good to have her with us. Jennifer, we will. We believe it and touch and agree on it. Any questions or comments before we go today? Hey, Melanie, is shrimp or chicken better for weight loss? They're the same. Shrimp versus chicken breast cooked in or not in MCT oil are they're the same. You're talking about pure protein, and then you add some approved fat. But chicken breast, almost no fat. Shrimp, no fat. They're the same. So the one that's the best is the one you enjoy more. You got it. My day starts at 3 a.m. and ends around 8 p.m. How can I space out meals? Easy to do. You do it just like anyone else here does it. It's definitely a different schedule you're carrying on there, right? So it works this way. You wake up, you don't have to eat right after you wake up. You decide when you eat, and you just eat an approved eating episode. And then you set your timer or keep it mentally 4 to 6 hours, then you're able to eat again. You don't have to, you can wait. I don't know when your break times are. I don't know what any of that looks like. Happy to help you with it, but it looks no different than anybody else's schedule. When you wake up, then you decide when your first eating episode is. So you get 3 eating episodes, and you got to finish up your day with a 12 to 16 hour fast. So if you have to eat right before bed because of the way you lay down, that still starts your 12 to 16 hour fast. Sometimes it can be, our circadian rhythm is the same as everybody else's, but we have to work nights and stuff. It can get a little weird for sure for you because you're not doing it like everybody else, but it's still the same. Still 24 hours in your day like there is everybody else's. It's harder on you, I understand, but you get up and you decide when the first eating episode is. Is it around break time? Is it while you're driving? When you eat that first one, that starts the clock for the day. Then you can have up to 2 more eating episodes if you desire them. But when you have the third eating episode, we set the timer 12 to 16 hours. You have to have that just to digest your food. I didn't realize that an IMF would catapult you into it. You'll get into EFB much faster with an intermittent fasting day. You can typically get in EFB after 24 hours with a long intermittent fast. That or exercise, those two combined, enough of it will get you back in EFB, because what gets you in EFB is you've got reserve glucose in your liver and your muscles. And that reserve glucose is attached to water, and we have to burn that off before the body can efficiently get back and tap into stored fat. You got to be in a calorie deficit, got to control insulin. A good way to get through that stored glucose that's excessive is fasting and exercise. Oh, good to know. Mom says today only free shipping at Advocare. I'll ask Lisa to put a couple of things up so that you can take advantage of free shipping. We do have a cleanse coming up. So you've got the cleanse kit, those that are going to be participating in the next cleanse. We provide the meal plan. You just have to get the cleanse kit. Spark, I drink Advocare Spark. I've already had 2 today, and there's some great recipes above and beyond using it as a drink beverage. So Spark, I've been drinking it for 25 years. And then highly recommend Catalyst to preserve muscle. And if there's anything getting overlooked, it's carbies. Carbies before every hollow meal will help you deal with a lot less insulin. So carbies, catalyst, and the cleanse kit, highly recommended. If you're wanting to get some additional fat burn, get ThermoPlus, but these are my favorite AdvoCare products. They work wonders for me and they will you too. When they have these free shipping days, it's a good day to get it. Yep, we'll do a new cleanse. I'll be out of town next week, hence us doubling up on classes this week. Then when I come back, we'll start our 10-day cleanse together as a family. It's called the 10-day reset. It's not a cleanse anymore. They went away from that politically incorrect terminology. It's called a 10-day reset now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, so this is it. This is what it looks like, the 10-day reset. Thing's awesome. It's got our herbal tablets in it that help remove the waste, the undigested matter, symbiotic probiotics that help feed the good flora in your gut. And then you got the fiber packet with the perfect blend of soluble and insoluble fiber. I always do this when I do a cleanse. I do this many times a year. Best, most gentle cleanse I've ever found. Very effective. It's used by the pros, especially professional athletes. Anybody else? Are all hearts and minds clear? Everybody satisfied? Jessica, I'll be pulling for you. I know you can do it. You've done it before. You got it. We all got it. We can do it. We can do all things through Christ, which strengthens us. Could you take carbies every day on a 3-day vacation? I do. If I go on vacation, I take carbies constantly, twice a day, every day of vacation. Anything I can do to keep my insulin levels lower. If everybody would listen to old Travis, there would be little statistical occurrence of heart disease, diabetes, acid reflux, gout. It would be such a minimum number of people in our population. It's ridiculous. Cannot believe everybody's opting for drugs instead of just doing this. I mean, I know. I do the drugs and this. One way or the other, you got to do this. I don't care what you call it. You have to manage your appetite. You have to be self-disciplined. And all it is you saying no to yourself a while and having some great tools, eating foods that you love and losing the weight instead of eating foods you love that cause you to gain it. That's it. Why are the drugs? So I'm not saying that there's not a season for the drugs, but they're not telling you everything. It's they don't have to tell you everything because it's in writing, but we don't read. We trust people that tell us what to do. So GLP-1 mimickers, your body's not producing enough of the GLP-1 hormone, which helps control your appetite and helps control blood sugar. Your body is not producing enough of it because of your eating habits. So you take GLP-1 exogenously. You introduce it to the system, whether it be oral medication, which is not as good as the shots, or the shots. You administer that, and for a while, you have 100 times. Listen, you have 100 times the level of appetite control for about this long. You build up a tolerance to it, and then it doesn't work anymore. And if you haven't learned how to eat, you just gain the weight back. Don't, not to even mention the side effects. There's huge billion-dollar lawsuits against it now. They don't care. They're making boatloads of money. But what everybody's missing, are you listening? You're destroying your body's natural production of GLP-1. They want you to be a slave. Did y'all hear that? Did the few people here hear what I said? That's why there's lawsuits and they don't care. You're destroying your own body's production of GLP-1. So it would be different if you could be on it the rest of your life and it still work if you wanted to do that. But over time, you build up a tolerance to it. But in addition to that, even though it doesn't work for you anymore, you've been on it a year, it's not working anymore like it was because you've built up a tolerance. So you come off of it. Now you might have to deal with the long-term ramifications. Your appetite's back times 10 because GLP-1 was masking that. Now here we are, and now your body seems hungrier than ever because your body cannot produce its own GLP-1 anymore. You took it from outside sources, signaled to your body, we don't need to produce it anymore because we're getting it from the outside. And it's one of those things they don't know if the body even turns back on its natural production of GLP-1 ever again. Get off that stuff. My doctor doesn't prescribe them, but asked me if I was interested. I said, absolutely not. I told him I know what to do. That's right. Because you got to do this anyway. All that GLP-1 does is for a little while make this easier. That's all. It's not worth it, y'all. Anybody else? Questions, comments, anything? Y'all want to keep doing these Monday and Tuesday at noon? Will y'all bring a good report next week? Some weight loss? You can do it. Bring back, it's bring some results next week. Let us recognize you. All right, I'm going to close us out in prayer. I love y'all in the Lord, okay? We appreciate you. If you're not a member yet, consider being a member. It costs me a lot of money to do this. I have to work other things just to bring in the money to do this. So it does help and go a long way if you become a paying member. Please consider it, but we'll help you regardless. That's who we are and what we do and what we've been called to do. Will a cup of coffee with Truvia break the fast? It won't. It won't. Some will say it will. Caffeine doesn't disrupt metabolic processes enough to, if you're not eating, to disrupt autophagy much. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in the earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day, Lord, our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Thank y'all so much. Blessings to you. We'll talk again real soon. Bye, everybody.